Hello, everyone. It's Mega Champ again, and with this on the screen, we all know what it is. It's time for more end of the year stuff. Yeah, I don't even know what to say anymore. With my personal anime of the year part 1 done, let's do the other side. So, in other words, my personal game of the year part 1. Just like last time with my anime of the year, my personal anime of the year. So basically, in other words, this is my personal game of the year with the special awards. There are some similarities to the special awards that I gave for anime of the year with only like two differences. Just like with my anime of the year, there's a worst of the year. And a gem and surprise of the year. Obviously, though, before we get into that, the hero of the games that I personally played this year, and that is what I go by. I go by the games that I personally played, just like I go by the anime that I personally watched in a year. So a lot of the games that I played this year are relatively old, some actually being really old, in other words, PlayStation 3 games, because my backlog is really horrible and I'm about 2 years behind in terms of games. Yeah, I'm that far behind. Big oof, big rip. I've been saying that a lot, but don't know how else to describe it. Describe it how you please. So the games that I played this year were Tales of Xillia for the PlayStation 3, Tales of Xillia 2 for the PlayStation 3. Yes, I played the two Xillia games back to back. Persona 5 Strikers, PlayStation 4. Balan Wonderworld, PlayStation 4, which was dropped, but it still technically counts. I have to count it, I'm sorry. Nier Replicant for the PlayStation 4, the remake one for the PlayStation 4. Biomutant for the PlayStation 5. I did play it on the PlayStation 4 at first, but I upgraded to the PlayStation 5, so let's just say PlayStation 5. Ori and the Will of the Wisps for Nintendo Switch. It's an unbelievably short game and a really easy platinum, but I don't care, I'm still counting it. Astro's Playroom for the PlayStation 5. Sackboy: A Big Adventure for the PlayStation 5. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart for the PlayStation 5. Neo: The World Ends With You, in other words, The World Ends With You 2 for the PlayStation 4. And last, but certainly not least, The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles for the PlayStation 4, which is still ongoing, although I am practically at the end of it, but that's not exactly important. So those are the games that I played this year. If you can't already tell, I finally got to my PlayStation 5 games this year. So, like I just said, Sackboy: A Big Adventure, Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, if you want to count Astro's Playroom. So I finally got to the PlayStation 5 this year, thank God, but you know, I'm going to be going back and forth a lot. So, in other words, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and big rip to Nintendo Switch for me this year, where literally the only thing I played on my Nintendo Switch was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I mean, I did play Fall Guys, but I practically don't count that anymore because I talked about it last year, so, and I quit playing it for like the first 4 months of the year, so I mean, yes, it still counts, but really the only Switch game I played this year was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Yikes. I will try, there's the key word, I will try to play more Nintendo Switch games this year, but I can't make any promises, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day. Most of the games I just mentioned, with maybe the exception of one or two, really two, were pretty great. I don't... I'm not much of a critic, but I can be when I want to be. I mean, I try to be, but I still don't consider myself a great critic, but most of the stuff I liked for the most part, so of course I say that, but we have to be negative first. So, as you recall, in my Anime of the Year 2023 for special awards, I gave an award for Worst Anime of the Year. This is about to happen again for my personal Game of the Year for 2023. And it's not really hard to figure out what it is. You probably already figured it out if you played close enough attention to everything I just listed off, because only one of those games was something that I didn't finish. Worst game of the Year 2020-2023 is Balan Wonderworld. I mean, did you expect it to be anything else? Go watch my shoot video on it. I'm not going to be a broken record here because, like I just said, go watch my shoot video on Balan Wonderworld if you really want to know how I feel about this game. But the too long didn't read, or I guess in this case, too long didn't watch, too long didn't listen version of it is this game is utter shit. And the worst part is it was made by Square Enix. With every W, there's an L, apparently, which Square Enix has been kind of flip-flopping a lot on this year in terms of good games they have put out and bad games they have put out. Even in terms of the games that I personally played, there was good games that I played and bad games that I played. This was, unfortunately, the bad game. It was so goddamn bad, if you recall from what I said, I couldn't even finish it. I almost said the F word. I need to not cuss as much, but because this is not need to not shoot because I've already done that for this game. It was so goddamn bad I didn't finish the game. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. It is really goddamn bad for people who like to get collectibles, and unfortunately, I am one of those people who like to get collectibles. So, yeah, it's really goddamn bad. It's not how a platformer works at all. It's just so goddamn bad, unplayable, freezes for like 6 seconds and you think the game is gonna close. That happened to me a couple times. This game is just shit. I'm sorry, it just is. But hey, look on the bright side. The person who made this game is now in prison. I wish I was joking. Yuji Naka is now in prison, so karma's a bitch. Karma is a bitch. We're not gonna give this game any more of a spotlight. It's shit. Don't even play it. Just trust me. I tried. I really, really did. I tried so goddamn hard. It was just too goddamn awful. So, once again, this is another situation where everyone was right, and I don't like that everyone was right, but I had to at least try, so I can at least sit here and say, hey, at least I tried, because I did. The game is shit. Go play something else. We're gonna go back to this for a minute, because I don't want that picture to be on the screen anymore, because let's not give it any more of a spotlight. But yes, Balan Wonderworld is my worst game of 2023. So, just like my Anime of the Year 2023 special awards, I also have a Game of the Year 2023 special award for Gem/Surprise of the Year. Again, what that means, it's a game that I had no expectations going into for being good, and then it blew me away with how goddamn good it actually ended up being. And this should not really be too hard to figure out either, if you recall my stream of it and also my full thoughts video on it. In fact, I can sit here and tell you right now, my expectations for this game were literally the bottom of the barrel. I was not expecting this game to actually be this goddamn good. Gem and Surprise of the Year 2023 for my personal Game of the Year is Sackboy: A Big Adventure for the PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4. Yeah, This game is amazing. And it shocked the hell out of me. I'm not even kidding. It seems like a kiddie game or a game for kids, and in many respects, I suppose it is. But really, anyone can play this game. Anyone of any age. It's a bit of a 3D platformer with 2D sections at times, if you recall some of my stream, and from my own experiences, and if you play the game yourself. Good God, this game is amazing. And not only that, the music in this game. Good God, man. I did kind of overreact a little when it comes to the music and thinking that I couldn't let the music play because of DMCA reasons. Because when I played it, there was some music in it that still got, like, flagged or something, but it didn't actually get DMCA. It said when I uploaded the video that it could be used for YouTube, so... But you have to be more on the cautious side, because you don't want to play around with DMCA. So I do apologize for that, but I was just trying to be as careful as possible, so, because you can never be too careful, but... My God, the music in this game, it is so good. It has officially licensed music too, like I mentioned in my Full Thoughts videos, from David Bowie, Britney Spears, artists like that, other artists that I can't think of right now. The person who did Uptown Funk that I can't think of the name of right now, that Uptown Funk is in the game, so... Yeah, the music's actually really goddamn good, and some of it is actually really goddamn good, so... Yeah, this game blew me away. I mean, the story is kinda but it is kind of an underdog story, so it's a little bit on the enjoyable side, but... All that really matters is the gameplay, and the gameplay is amazing, and actually very difficult, especially later on and in certain levels and stuff like that. Because eventually I had to give up on trying to get literally everything. RIP. But, I got literally everything for the majority of the game, but once I got to, like, the final 2 worlds, I had to stop. So, really goddamn good, really goddamn challenging at times, and surprised the hell out of me. It really, really did. It surprised the hell out of me. They really need to do more with this game and this franchise. They really do. And I'm personally iffy when it comes to user-generated content like Little Big Planet is, and you can even claim that for Fall Guys now with the creative mode where you can make your own Fall Guys levels and share them. Because people tend to make stuff that's way too hard. I seriously still don't understand why people only want to make hard stuff. So I am still a little iffy if I was to play like a Little Big Planet 4 or something like that. But if it has something like a single-player campaign, like I mentioned in my Full Thoughts video, I'm all for it. This franchise, this game, Sackboy: A Big Adventures, was just too goddamn good. I will give anything a try. If they continue this franchise, which is looking incredibly unlikely, goddamn PlayStation, you literally lost Crash Bandicoot and Spyro to Xbox, who are probably going to be Xbox exclusive, and you have this mascot and another one I'm about to talk about here that you could literally have as a replacement for platformers, but you don't want to do that. Well, you probably will for one, but you could have a second one, and it's literally right under your noses, but you don't want to do it. Ugh, facepalm moment. The point is, this game is really goddamn good, and it blew me away. It really did. I cannot stress enough how much you really need to try out this game for yourself, and to not judge it on its cover. As the saying goes, don't judge a book by its cover. It's just really, goddamn good, and you really should give it a try. That's just my suggestion and my recommendation, but at the end of the day, as we all know, everyone's going to do whatever they want. Everyone's opinion is going to be different. Everyone's experience is going to be different. So, do whatever you want. At the end of the day, I still think this game is really goddamn good, and it blew me away. So, at the bare minimum, this game deserves my gem and surprise of the year. Here's the thing, though. I did play a lot of games with a mascot, whether it be this game, or Astro's Playroom, or Tales of Xillia, or Tales of Xillia 2, so I decided to create a little special award here, which is sort of the extra one. Where in my personal anime of the year, I only had 3 awards, but for my personal game of the year, I have 4 awards, and that extra award is, of course, Mascot of the Year. Now, I don't want Sackboy fans to get angry at me, okay? I really don't, because I'm gonna give you a little hint here. Sackboy's gonna get something else. Something that you could make the argument is actually technically better. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm sorry, I really am, but Mascot of the Year 2023 is Astrobot. Just looking at this makes me laugh. Look at it! It's so cute! It's so good! Give me another Astrobot game! God damn you! Oh, God. Play Astro's Playroom. Seriously. I'm not joking here. I know sometimes it seems like I always am, although we've seen how serious I can be too, but... And yes, you can make the argument that Astro's Playroom isn't a quote-unquote real game, because you could literally play it and beat it and get the platinum in one sitting. It's literally like a 3 to 5 hour game. Again, I'm not kidding. So you could make the argument that it's not a real game, but come on, look at this! It's so cute! It's so good! I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Anyway, my God, Astro's Playroom. It was probably the most fun I've had playing a game all year, despite how short it is. And again, I'm not joking. And again, excuse me, sorry, jeez. That's how much I like Astro. It's making me cough. Again, the music in this game is actually shockingly good. I'm your GPU. I can't sing. I'm not even gonna try. I'm your GPU. Go look it up. So good. Although really all of the songs are really good, at least the stage songs. SSD Highway, I think that one is called. All of it, okay? Just all of it. All of the stage themes. So good. My God, the uniqueness of Astro's Playroom with the DualSense PlayStation 5 controller. My God, I don't even know what to say. It did some unbelievably unique things with the PlayStation 5 controller. It did some things with it that I literally have not done since the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo 3DS. I wish I'm joking. I'm not. In one of the stages, I actually had to use my stylus for something. My stylus that I use for my smartphone and that I had to use with my Switch when I was playing The World Ends With You Final Remix. I'm not kidding. You know, the little stylus that comes with the DS and the 3DS. I didn't use that, I used a different one, but I'm just saying, I had to do something with the stylus for the first time since the 3DS. It was unbelievably unique. The most unique thing I have ever seen with a controller since... Well, some of the Ratchet and Clank games on PlayStation 3, did some unique things with the controller, but that was a long time ago, and all it was you could, like, it was gyro. So in other words, what that means is you move it around and it moves the character around. There's stuff like that in this game too. And not only that, there is still a large possibility, and God, I hope this is the case, that Team Asobi is working on their biggest game yet, quote unquote. Please be this. Please be this. If they can do that many unique things with just Astro's Playroom, which is a 3 to 5 hour game, my God, with a full game, are you kidding? Yes, take my money. I will give you the money right now. Take it. Just take the money. Shut up and take my money, as the Futurama meme goes. This mascot is too good. I love it. I really do. I don't even know if PlayStation ever had a mascot. I think they did, but it was a really long time ago and it didn't work out. Here's your new mascot. It's great. I love it. And the game is so goddamn good, so that makes it even better. Look at him. He's just so happy. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. We're gonna let him dance a little as I talk about my next thing. So yeah, I really hope we get the next Astro game. I don't know if it'll be in 2024. I hope so. But take your time, Team Asobi. Make sure it is good as it possibly can be. Because if it can be just as good as Astro Playroom, if not better, good God, man! Okay, I've done enough. I'm sorry. I'll take a little break so I can stall and let him dance more, so you can fall in love with him. Totally not biased, I promise. My final special award for my personal Game of the Year 2023, which really isn't that hard to figure out, is Soundtrack of the Year. So in other words, a game soundtrack that I really liked and I really loved and is really goddamn amazing and you should go listen to right now instead of listen to me yammer. Did you expect it to be anything else but Neo the World Ends With You? Come on now, you should know me better by now. The soundtrack is goddamn amazing. It might even be better than the original The World Ends With You soundtrack, or even better than The World Ends With You Final Remix. That's how good this soundtrack is. So goddamn good. Unpainted, Insomnia, Last Call. Go search the Neo The World Ends With You soundtrack on YouTube. You are welcome. I wish I could play it for you. You have no idea how much I wish I could play it for you. I'm not taking that chance. I'm not taking that risk. It's so goddamn good. Just chef's kiss all around. If you want me to describe it like this, although I'm going to sound like an idiot, so excuse me for sounding like an idiot here, but and it's kind of a WWE reference, although they haven't done it in a while, but it's banger after banger after banger. I mean, it's stupid, and that sounds stupid, and it kind of is stupid, but that's the best way to describe it. It's just amazing song after amazing song after amazing song. I mean, come on, did you think I wouldn't give Neo The World Ends With You in something? Although this does sort of hint at something else. But we're not going to talk about that right now. And is it biased? I mean, you could make that argument, but nothing else that I just listed off in all those games that I played this year came close to a really amazing soundtrack. And no, I haven't played Scarlet and Violet yet. I'm sorry. It's far away in my backlog, so I mean, it is this one worst game of the year, although I doubt it's gonna win that. let's just stop there. Point is, Neo the World Ends With You soundtrack. Goddamn amazing. Goddamn great. Go listen to it. Stop watching this and go listen to it. Yeah. Luckily, that's all I got for you. Not much else to really say here. Yeah. What I will say, though, and I will be completely honest with you here, the games that I played this year was definitely not as good, nowhere near as good, honestly, as the games that I played last year. Because if you recall kind of what I said in my previous video for my anime of the year, I played two really standout games last year, which was Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Tales of the Abyss. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was literally going to win my personal game of the year, and then Tales of the Abyss came in and said, I'm about to ruin this game's whole career, and it did. So nothing was really going to come close to that to last year. So big oof, big rip. I'm just glad I got to Neo the World Ends With You, which was, if you recall from my videos last year, my most anticipated game that I will actually play. Thank God I actually got to it. I was starting to get worried that I wouldn't get to it. I really was. So, I'm glad I at least got to that. It has its own issues, as we all know, but I'm just glad that I managed to get to that. So that's really all that matters, and that's really all that's important. But that's all I got for you. That's my personal Game of the Year 2023 with my special awards. Just as a quick recap, Balan Wonderworld is my personal worst game of the year. Gem and Surprise of the Year is Sackboy: A Big Adventure. Mascot of the Year is Astrobot. I could watch him all day. And Soundtrack of the Year is Neo the World Ends With You. Also, I will give a quick special mention for Soundtrack, even though I kind of already talked about it. Special mention for Soundtrack is obviously Sackboy. It's really good, and it shocked the hell out of me with how good the Sackboy: A Big Adventure soundtrack was. So go give that a listen too. Lots of great good game soundtracks for me this year, which doesn't happen a lot. I'll be the first to admit, game soundtracks aren't really something that that really blow me away unless it's a Final Fantasy game, but or Kingdom Hearts, I guess, but and Persona, I suppose. But the Persona 5 Striker soundtrack was okay. But I would say it's not as good as original Persona 5 soundtrack, not even close. So, game soundtracks is not really something that really makes me to go, wow, this is really good, and it happened to me twice. So, good year in terms of game soundtracks. Not so great year overall, but it is what it is, I suppose. But that's it. That's all I got for you for my Mega's Personal Game of the Year 2023 Part 1 Special Awards. So that's all I got. Yeah. Kind of like what I stated, I'm literally at the end of Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, so this may be temporarily interrupted with my full thoughts video for that. But in terms of my end of the year stuff, it's literally the end here. So next year is final list, finals, however you want to put it. My personal anime of the year 2023, part 2. Final 4. Final 3, but might as well be final 4. So there you go. I will reveal what my personal anime of the year 2023 is next time. So until then, this is Mega Champ saying next time I'll be providing you with more unlimited guidance. Okay, I'm sorry. Bye.